Okay, guys, I want to fix one known error that I have with my retro Amazon. And here's the error you can see on the screen. And let me describe what's happening. It says book item JSX line 16 or 43. What happens is when you initially log in, the user role is correctly passed down to a book item. And so here's line 16 where the user role includes this. Then we show that. So there's what's happening is that user role is a piece of state that when you kind of refresh the page or you go back to it, like it works initially, but then when you refresh the page, the user role is lost. And to kind of get the page back loading and maybe even demonstrate this, um, you know, if I go into local storage, maybe what I've had to do is kind of delete my cookies and I think yesterday what I was doing is I was deleting my cookies. But so I could go back and get that, demonstrate that whole process. But right now, that's the process. The process is I'll skip that part. The process is you log in, it works initially, and then you reload the homepage and it crashes. And it's ultimately crashing again because of that user role. Literally, if you comment this line out, okay, and bring up the homepage, you can see that's working again. So user role is not being sent down properly. So, we need to kind of get that state from somewhere. Um, and so if I kind of take a step back and see where did I get user role, kind of stepping back, I think it's all the way back up in app. And so here's a set user role. And presumably when we log in, we're setting the user role. And ultimately that is being lost. And so there's a couple of ways of doing this, and here use effect, you kind of see what I did with full name. When the app mounts, this renders the first time, we read full name from local storage, and then we set it. Let's write something similar for user role. And then if user role, we set user role. So again, ideally, you're probably storing a whole user, not just individual attributes of the user, into local storage, right? So here, set user role. So this is reading user role, but ultimately we need to write it to local storage the first time. And so let me see, probably on my login form. Okay, I do have a set user role here when I log in. So that's good. I just didn't have that. Oh, here's local storage. This is what we need. Local storage, set item user role. There we go. So now this will put it in local storage, and then when our app initially mounts, it'll try and read user role and set it appropriately. So just a couple lines there to fix that bug. Again, I have it commented out right now, so let me Alt-Tab back. Okay, Get this on Alt Tab, and let's bring that line back in. And I need to log in. So let me clear everything in history, maybe for the last 24 hours. Okay, and then let me go into here and delete my cookie. No cookies. Cleared the history, local storage. Okay, so that kind of resets us to get back to the point where I can log in. And EA Gunstead. Now if I log in, again, this was not the problem the first time. If I go to application, now I've got my user role, which in this case just looks like an individual string. And so I'm not sure if that's going to be exactly what I need. However, when I was refreshing before, it was crashing. And we have since fixed that bug. Okay, so I just came across that bug when I was deploying in my last video, and I wanted to fix it. So we should be good there. Now the next thing to do is redeploy. And so to do that, we did not change anything on the front end, on the back end, we just changed the front end. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop my front end React, and let's set our G-Cloud to be our front end. Okay, and on the front end, we also need to do a build, npm run build. Okay, so our dist folder has been updated, which is a necessary part. And now we do deploy with G-Cloud app deploy. And double check yourself that the target URL is your front end, and we're in the front end of our source code. So I'm gonna hit yes. All right, it says deployed service. Again, I think it's gonna be important to make sure the cookies are all clear, and I already did that. So let's log in. Okay, so we're logged in. If I go to local storage, I've got user role and full name. This is on my live front end. I can update the live version of my front end. Of course, that should be reflected in my Mongo database, Retro Amazon, books. There's my DaVinci Code updated. And again, the problem, the bug, if you will, was when we were going back and forth, it would crash right here. Okay, so we fixed that bug. Not only did we fix it locally, of course, we had to deploy it as well. So awesome. We are in business, doing well.